All right, welcome to the Week 12 in Review video blog, the first video blog that I'm doing this year. A couple housekeeping items first. Did everybody get exposed to that Twitter spam thing that's been going around lately? Were you dumb enough to click on it like me? Because whenever I see something that says, what exactly could you be doing in this video, my mind immediately starts racing through all the dumb shit that I've done when drunk over the last 14 years of my life. So in my defense, that's why I clicked on it. I'm sure a lot of you did too, so I hope you enjoyed that spam, and if you got it from me, my apologies. Second order of housekeeping, the reason for this video blog today is because of this little guy here. So yesterday I had a little bit of an accident, was at the hospital for a couple hours, and I want to show you exactly how this happened. So making a sandwich, trying to slice up my own cheese here, not buying any of that store pre-sliced bullshit. So I got a block of cheese here, got a cheese slicer, and as you can imagine, just slicing down the block, and boom, tip of my thumb cut right off. So that was fun yesterday. That was a great way to start the week, and what that means now is that I don't really feel like trying to type with this stupid thing on my thumb. I'm actually supposed to be keeping this finger elevated for the next 24 hours, so I guess I should be doing the rest of the blog like this. And I'm in a bit of a Vicodin stupor right now from the pain, so I don't really have the motivation to type 2,500 words. So you get to see me in all of my unclean glory. I haven't been able to shower. I wanted to shave yesterday, didn't do that. Wearing a cutoff t-shirt just to make myself look as awful as possible. That's Patriots 2004 Conference Champs lucky t-shirt. So let's go ahead and jump into the Week 12 review. So if you remember my Week 11 blog recap, if you actually read that bullshit, you remember that I made myself the model boyfriend to Julie by going camping over the weekend and allowing the idea of us staying through the Sunday morning games while we were camping in Santa Barbara, but luckily because of rain we didn't have to stay, and that really put me in a nice position with Julie to say that I've sacrificed some football for some family time. So I did another move like that this weekend. On Sunday morning, Julie desperately wanted to get a Christmas tree because God forbid we wait till this week when all the trees might be sold out. And so I gave in. I went tree shopping, but I made sure to make her feel as bad as possible about me missing maybe the first 30 minutes of the game. So the result, she feels bad about me missing the football. I tell her how much I'm sacrificing for her, and then all along I'm taping the Red Zone channel anyway so I can come home and not miss a single minute of the action. So guys, I hope you're taking notes. Ross's sports relationship balance classes excused for the day, but I will be coming back with new ideas on how to make your girlfriend feel special during the football season without you having to sacrifice any minute of actual football. The Thursday Thanksgiving games are almost a week old at this point, so I don't want to spend much time on them. And I had less notes than usual because by the time the Patriots kicked off at 5:30 Pacific time, I was 6 hours deep in my Thanksgiving drinking. But I do want to note that I didn't just get 2 of 3 games right on that Thursday, but my predictions were pretty spot on. I predicted RG3 to have a huge day against Dallas and tear the Cowboys up in Dallas. Then I also predicted the Patriots to embarrass the Jets in front of a very tired tryptophan-induced audience on national TV. I thought that would be more along the lines of your standard 42-7 beatdown of the Jets. I didn't think it would be the Patriots scoring 75 points in 90 seconds or whatever that second quarter turned out to be. So that was really fun for everybody. So let's move on to the Sunday games then. I did see 2 of my favorite kind of throws almost back-to-back on Sunday watching the Red Zone channel. It was the old roll right, throw across your body into double or triple coverage throws. The people who make those throws should really be immediately benched. Rookie Dolphins quarterback Ryan Tannehill did it in the Dolphins-Seahawks game. He was in the red zone. He's about to get hit on the sideline. He throws across his body to the middle of the end zone into triple coverage. It gets picked off. Stupid throw, but for some reason there was a questionable roughing the passer call that negated that awful play by Tannehill, so it doesn't really go in the books as such a bad play after all. The other one was in the Denver-Kansas City game. We saw Peyton make a similar throw. It wasn't Peyton Manning, though. This was actually running back Peyton Hillis for Kansas City. halfback pass. The Chiefs got lucky, though, because Hillis couldn't even make it back to the line of scrimmage when he threw it from the right sideline over to the left side. If he had, he was in double coverage. It would have been a pick six. I love those throws. As long as people continue to make ill-advised throws like that, this blog will always be in business. Speaking of quarterbacks, I always got the impression QBs were supposed to be the smartest guy on the team, but then I saw Jay Cutler scrambling down the sideline with 2 minutes left in the second quarter of the Bears-Vikings games, and after the play, he decided to flip the ball at the defender, Vikings defender A.J. Jefferson, and that resulted in a 15-yard unsportsmanlike penalty. So I have to ask, how dumb can you be, Jay Cutler? If that was an important moment in the game, which it wasn't, we would really be blasting him right now. But say what you want about the 2006 Bears quarterback Rex Grossman, but at least he never would have done something that stupid. So Jay Cutler continuing to do dumb things and make headlines. I love it. Some joke I had written down about the game delay in the third quarter of the Dolphins-Seahawks game because of the sprinklers turning on, but everyone on Twitter already went nuts with the Buffalo Wild Wings jokes. So we'll just move on from there, I guess. How many fumbles did the Steelers end up with on Sunday? Was it 5? Are they still counting them up like some sort of Florida election result situation? And then Charlie Batch only threw, 3 picks? So you have 8 turnovers by the Steelers, and then Cleveland is still eking out a 6-point win, having to actually withstand a Steelers game-winning potential drive, even though the Steelers turned it over 8 times to the Browns 1. At one point, when there was 5 turnovers, the Browns had scored all of 6 points off those turnovers. So Cleveland ends up scoring 17 points off of 8 Steeler turnovers. Let that sink in for a minute. 17 total points off of 8 Steelers turnovers. I didn't even bother to look up the average starting field position for the Browns, but I'm sure it was pretty generous given the 8 turnovers, and they were able to put up 20 total points. So I guess to the naked eye, Cleveland's been playing pretty well. That's the theme you keep hearing in the media, is that Cleveland's playing better than their 3-8 record. Pat Shurmur's maybe actually steering the ship well now, getting things in order. But when it comes down to a final drive after your team has gotten the benefit of 8 turnovers from the opponent and you're playing against Charlie Batch, that can't inspire much confidence in the new owners of the Browns and those guys making the decisions about Pat Shurmur's future to eke out a 20-14 win. So let's move on. Steelers. Does anyone doubt that Big Ben is going to rush back unnecessarily from his injury and get re-injured when he tries to play in Baltimore this weekend? Okay, good. Let's move on. I saw the most awkward thing that I've ever seen this weekend at a football game. I wasn't at the football game, but the Red Zone channel was showing it, and I went and printed out a picture of what I saw on my TV. So this is the Colts cheerleaders. Did everybody see this? The Colts cheerleaders. Let me make sure I can... Colts cheerleaders, go ahead and get your head shaved in the middle of a game on TV. I know it's for the whole Chuck Pagano leukemia research thing or something like that, but... is this not the weirdest thing that you could see happen at a football game if you were there? I don't know, just weird. I didn't need to see that. I don't want to see it again, but good for them for supporting the leukemia research. Denver struggled against the Chiefs this week, and Baltimore struggled against the Chiefs a few weeks ago too. So what I'm going to say is that every elite team in the NFL is allowed to have one of those struggles against a subpar team. The Patriots did it to Arizona. Green Bay did it against Jacksonville. Houston also did it against Jacksonville just 2 weeks ago. So if you're an elite team, I will give you one struggle against a bad team over the 16-game schedule. But if you are Baltimore, you didn't just do that against Kansas City. You did it this week against a San Diego team that's already given up on the season. So if you've done it more than once, I'm not considering you elite, and I continue to think Baltimore is the luckiest goddamn team in NFL history. Everybody saw the 4th and 29 game-saving run by Ray Rice. Probably couldn't have done that against any other team because San Diego is just not into it. So let's move on to The Seahawks, I predicted that their offense would struggle on the road in Miami. I actually predicted Russell Wilson would be horrible. He wasn't horrible, but the offense put up 14 total points, which is just 1 point less than they've been averaging on the road. So I was right on with that. I told you that offense was garbage on the road. You should stick with going against Seattle whenever they're on the road, even against a team like the Dolphins. And then I was happy to see Adam Schefter's report later in the afternoon about the cornerbacks for Seattle, Brandon Browner and Richard Sherman, possibly getting suspended 4 games for performance-enhancing drugs. Made me so happy. Anyone who reads the blog knows I have this irrational hatred towards the Seahawks, mostly because of Sherman's trash talking to Tom Brady after the Patriots loss in Seattle earlier this year. So I'm very happy about that. I think Seattle is the biggest fraud out of any contenders or anybody still in the playoff hunt. And yes, I'm ignoring the fact that Patriots linebacker Jermaine Cunningham got suspended for the same reason this week as well. So hating on Seattle still and loving more and more reasons to root against them. So let's move on to the afternoon games now. Let me grab my notes from there. Yes, the Arizona-St. Louis game. Ryan Lindley making his first start in Arizona. Fox was generous enough to show us Ryan's parents in the crowd and Ryan's mom, Kaylin Lindley. I love that name, Kaylin Lindley. And then they said that Ryan Lindley jerseys are selling like hotcakes right now. I can't believe that. Their Ryan Lindley jerseys are just flying off the shelves, apparently. Are they? And then I looked up hotcakes and the whole why do people say selling like hotcakes? And apparently, according to this Wiki Answers page, hotcakes were really popular a long time ago. So hence selling like hotcakes is just another way of an old person saying that shit is flying off the shelves. So my question is, should the saying now be selling like iPads or selling like 50 Shades of Grey books? I'm open to suggestions, but I think we can come up with a new saying much better and more relevant than selling like hotcakes. Speaking of Ryan Lindley and rookies, we're not going to speak about Lindley, but we're going to speak about rookie quarterbacks. I was just thinking about the 5 rookies that began the season as starting quarterbacks and how well they're doing. So Andrew Luck, 7-4 for the Colts. RG3, 5-6 for the Redskins. Russell Wilson, 6-5 for the Seahawks. Really, that's 5-6 because of that bullshit win the replacement refs gave them in Week 3. Ryan Tannehill, 5-6 for Miami, and Brandon Weeden pulling up the rear with a 3-8 record for the Browns. That's all pretty impressive. Even Weeden, I thought we'd be waiting until 2013 to see his first win. And 4 of them, the other 4, not counting Weeden, still in the playoff hunt. So I'm sure this has never happened, but 4 rookie QBs still guiding their teams at least towards the playoffs right now. So that's pretty impressive. One of my favorite things to do during downtime during Sunday games is to really geek out on ESPN's NFL standings page, and specifically scrolling through the last 10 years of data that they have on team records, point differential, home and road win-loss, conference win-loss, etc. So you can call me a nerd, but I'm definitely a proud nerd when it comes to just screwing around with football stats and football historical trends. So I was starting to enjoy seeing the Patriots are pulling away from the rest of the field in terms of point differential, which is a good indicator of how good a team really is. They have a plus 163 differential now, and the next closest team, Houston, I think has a plus 116. So got really excited about that and how dominating the Patriots are. But I sobered up quickly when I discovered that only twice in the past 10 years has the team with the best point differential at the end of the regular season actually won the Super Bowl. That was the 2009 New Orleans Saints and the 2004 New England Patriots. So almost a bit of a curse at this point to lead the league in point differential and be considered that best team. You're not necessarily winning the Super Bowl because any garbage team like the 2011 or 2007 New York Giants can just get hot and upset you in the Super Bowl. So that was fun. No joke there, just something I do on Sundays. Who's been saying all year long that something seems wrong with the Green Bay offense? I think it's been me. And I think it continued to show on Sunday night in that abysmal performance in New York. Couldn't quite put my finger on it. No pun intended. But Chris Collinsworth said it perfectly, that their only option on offense is to throw, and sometimes that doesn't even work. Their offensive line has been horrible at times, just not as consistently bad as the Bears, the Eagles, or the Cardinals. And their defense really isn't good enough to make up for it when they can't throw on an opponent. So what I was seeing was defenses daring Green Bay to run the ball, and they just can't. And that's why they're a tier below teams like Houston, New England, Baltimore, the Giants, and even the 49ers, because they're so one-dimensional. That's really going to hurt them in the playoffs. So anyone that still thinks the Packers are going to make a run, go all the way to the Super Bowl, I would temper your expectations, because I just can't see them stringing together 3 or 4 really good games in a row with that one-dimensional offense. Okay, we're about done here. I notice I'm 15 minutes in, and most of you have probably abandoned this video by now. So let's just wrap it up with some stats against the spread for you. So my dog Molly, if you've been watching her picks every week this season, she's now 8-4 on the season. So she's got a win percentage of 670 essentially. And then after my outstanding 11-5 record this week, my season record now sits at 99, 72, and 5, and that's a winning percentage of 579. So what that means, the rest of the season, your strategy should be to bet big on Molly's pick, 1 pick per week, and ignore my pick. That seems mathematically how you will net the most profit on your bets. And I do want to remind everyone I'm on the verge of either an undefeated week or something like a 14-2 week. And I'm so close. I just need to learn certain things, like never back Philly or Oakland again, and I should be fine. Philly hasn't covered a game since week 5, and they've only covered twice all year. So they're now 2-9 against the spread after last night's awful game against Carolina, which I backed Philly, of course. And Oakland hasn't covered since week 8, and of course I've backed them every week since week 8, and they've only won 3 games, or covered, 3 games all year, so they're 3-8 against the spread. So if I can just stop backing shitty teams like Philly and Oakland, then I should be good. So look forward to a great betting week coming up in week 13, and hopefully my thumb heals up, because I'm sure people would rather read my bullshit than not only listen to my bullshit, but have to see me on their computer screen. So thanks for watching if you did, and look forward to the week 13 picks coming up in a day or two.